Hey, what's going on, Capricorns? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Wild and Unknown Tarot. A little backstory with the Wild and Unknown was the first deck I ever tried to use. It didn't go well. I feel like certain decks are for more advanced reading or readers. And, it's kind of like, when you first get your first vehicle trying to drive a Porsche. You got to drive something more to your skill level. And I feel like that's why I can never really get it in the beginning. I tried. I really did. But the first deck I ever actually used and could use was the Celtic Tarot. This deck just did not want to talk to me. But we finally had an understanding, and now it seems to flow very well for me. But like I said, when you first start doing readings, when you first dive into tarot, if you can handle this deck, all the power to you. I couldn't. That's just between me and you. But it is a great deck. I mean, I absolutely loved it. That's why I picked it first. But anyway, enough of that. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what do we have for Capricorn? What's going on for Capricorn? All right, Capricorns. So the first thing I see is I feel like this is someone you already know, someone you have a history with. I mean, we have that Six of Cups. Now I feel like with this person, this is someone that you got a lot of hot and cold energy from. You never really got that consistency. I feel like it was kind of like they picked and choose when they showed up. And I feel like it got too much. It got to the point where, I feel like the connection you had with this person was amazing, but it wasn't logical anymore. It didn't make any sense. It wasn't practical. It didn't work for you anymore. We can't have someone that's inconsistent for someone that wants something, wants consistency. I feel like you saw the potential in this person, but it was like they never lived up to it. You never really got what you expected from this person. And it's almost like at one point you got to realize, how long am I going to invest in a bad investment? And I feel like it was a hard decision, but it was one that had to be made. Like I said, I feel like it came time that, we had to look for new opportunities. It's like I said, we can have something, we can see the potential, but if they don't see the potential, if you're ever with someone, no matter how great you think they can be, if they don't believe it, you're probably not going to get there. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. You saw something in them that they never saw in themselves, and I feel like that's what caused all the friction here. I feel like you got tired of them holding back from you. You get tired of them not giving you what you expected. And it only can go so long. I mean, feelings for each other can only get us so far. If someone's not going to show up for you, then what the hell are we doing? Especially when you know they could. That's got to be the most irritating thing with some people, is that you see something in them that, I mean, no matter how hard you try to push it out of them, no matter how much you try to get them to see it, if they're not ready to see it, if they're not willing to see it, they're not going to see it. Now with this person, fortunately, I feel like with this person, I mean, they're not done. They haven't given up yet. They have a lot of regret. But with that 8 of Cups in reverse, I mean, they're not done. They're not looking for anything else. I mean, like I said with that, sorry, I said 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is something, I mean, you walked away from this. You looking for new opportunities, but this person isn't looking for a new opportunity. They don't want to let this go. With that 7 of Cups, I get them so confused. With that 7 of Cups, they're not willing to walk away from this. They don't want to walk away from this. Their regret is that they didn't see this through. I feel like they know they got lazy. They know that they didn't give you much to work with. And that's, I mean, I feel like we needed this time for this person to finally show up. Sometimes we do it all the wrong way. We try to get someone to live up to the potential, to be who we thought they could be. And sometimes the only thing you can do is give them that time to themselves. And I feel like they had that time to themselves. We have that hermit. I feel like they spent a lot of time in their head. The problem with this person is they didn't see what was right in front of them. They didn't see the end coming. They didn't see what they were doing. A lot of times when people get lazy in a relationship or they get complacent, they don't realize how much it's affecting the person that they're with, the person that depends on them. I mean, it's like if you're in a partnership in a company and all of a sudden you start doing more work and they start doing less work. And the more work you do, they feel like they can do less. But I feel like this time apart, has caused this person to look deep within and realize just what was right there in front of them the whole time. What was right there. What they could have had. What could have happened. All they had to do was show up. All they had to do was put in the work. And I feel like it bugs them that they realize that you're doing just fine without them. From the outside, they look at you and they say, okay, I'm falling the damn part, and this person still has their shit together. Like, they're doing it without me. And I don't want them to do it without me. It is how this person is coming off in this read. So, I mean, I do feel like this person is coming back. I feel like this person is going to open up to you. And I feel like they're going to be very honest when they do. With that 8 of Swords in reverse. Breaking down those walls, breaking up that, Sometimes we build walls with our partner and we lose that communication. And that can be the beginning of the end. But with this person, that I do see them coming back, and I do see them wanting to earn your trust. And the best way to earn your trust is to be honest with you, to be open with you, and let you know that they don't want to be without you. I mean, this person doesn't want to lose you. And during this time to themselves, like I said, I feel like they realize a lot about themselves. They realize a lot about what they wanted and how to get what they want. And I feel like it caused a huge transformation in this person. I feel like you're going to get a completely different side of this person, a side that you always knew was there. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like this person's finally going to, give you what you always wanted from them, what you always knew you could get from them. This person putting in the work, this person nurturing this connection rather than just living off it. And I see a lot of good things coming from that. I see a lot of forward movement. We have the Sun card. Like I said, sometimes I feel like we have to get to that darkest point. We have to hit rock bottom in order to let go, in order to move on, in order to move forward. It's with this person, like I said, I do feel like this person is coming back in a big way. And I mean, you've always been nurturing and there for them and protected them. And now they want to do the same for you with that Empress and that Empress, that nurturing, protective energy. Protecting what you have built together, nurturing what you have together, and moving forward in that. Finally getting the power couple that you always thought you could have with this person. This person couldn't have reached their true potential without this, though. And that's the biggest thing that we got to take from this is sometimes we can help somebody so much. It's like that old proverb. You teach somebody you give somebody a fish, you feed them for a day, but you teach somebody to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. We can keep giving somebody something and they're not going to be any better for it. They're going to get through that day, but they're not going to successfully be any better. And sometimes we have to let people go in order for them to find themselves. Someone, it's like that saying as well. I'm full of catchy sayings right now, but it's like that saying as well when people say, sometimes you got to let them go, and if they come back, they're yours. Well, they're coming back because they're yours. They want to be yours. I see a lot of emotional fulfillment along with that stability, along with that power couple. I see you actually being happy with this person, getting to a place of being happy, secure. And we also have that wheel of fortune. So I feel like a lot of good things are coming from this. And like I said, if we go back to that metaphor of this being a partnership in a company. You got your partner back. You got someone showing up every day, putting in the work, and now we can see. We can see the fruit of our labors. I use that metaphor a lot as you're in a boat and you're rowing. There's two oars. There's two people. But you're the only one rowing, so you're just going around in a circle. You're never going to get to where you want to go because you're always too busy burning all your energy moving in that circle. But when that other person finally picks up that oar, that's when you start really moving. That's when you can go forward. That's when you can get to the places that you want to go. And like I said, I do see this person showing up. I do see this person putting in the work. And this is not a part-time thing. I feel like you're really truly going to get the better side of this person. And the best part about this is I feel like when they're their best self, it makes them want to be better. Sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes it can be depression or whatever was holding this person back is no longer holding them back with that Devil card. That burden that they were holding on to. Sometimes we get complacent. And complacent can cause depression. And it's just like a downward spiral. And sometimes we have to get to the darkest point in order to realize it. And I feel like their darkest point is losing you. That's when that's when the ramifications of their actions really sunk in. And like I said, I do see a strong bond that you're going to have with this person. We have the family card, we have that Two of Cups. I feel like this person was meant to be in your life, and I feel like you knew that. But like I said, sometimes we have to let things go and let the cards fall where they may. But like I said, I see a lot of forward movement here. I see you finally getting what you wanted from this person. It was a long time coming, but you deserve it. Like I said, I mean, not only are we getting, that stability that we crave, but we're having an actual partner. We're having actual someone that stands up for us, someone that protects what we have, someone that nurtures what we have, rather than just living off it and being protected by it. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do with this person. I'm just saying I authentically feel like this person has changed. I feel like this has changed them for the better. And I feel like we started the ball rolling. So I do feel like this change is going to be consistent. I do feel like it's been a long time coming, but now it's here, and they're seeing the fruits of their labor as well. They're seeing the benefits of what they're doing. It's not just what benefits you, it's also benefiting them to be a better person, to show up, to put in the work, to be the person you always thought they could be. Now they're realizing they can be that. It's the world is the darkest before the dawn, they say. Now with this person, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. We also have some Aries as well. The thing is this is kind of, I told the story before, but it's kind of relevant. You can choose whether you think it's relevant or not, but it's not a love connection in the romantic type. I talked about my brother and how my brother suffered from addiction. And I was always kind of enabling it. He'd get drunk, and I remember being 13, 14 years old, and the local bar would call me up to come get him. And he'd be loaded, passed out at a table. So I'd I'd walk home with him and wake him up, and, he'd lean on me, I'd be holding on to him and walking him home. And I remember my dad always said, you gotta stop doing that. The more you show up for him, the more he's just going to continue to do it. He has to hit rock bottom. And I really had a hard time with that. I was always afraid that something bad would happen to him if I didn't do that. But anyway, I ended up having my first kid. And I remember I stopped. I told him, I'm not coming to get you no more. I'm not doing it. I have a kid now. I can't be up all hours of the night worrying about you. Like, he's 12 years older than me. He's my big brother. So I stopped. And at the beginning, it was hard. It was stressful. I always worried. But I feel like he had one night, he ended up being arrested, thrown in the junk tank. He woke up the next morning, I went and got him. And he said, you weren't there for me. He was mad at me. He was mad. He said, why weren't you there for me? Why didn't you come pick me up? I said, why don't you pick yourself up? You know, and I didn't really talk to him. Other than that, I drove him home and I drove away. I said, you know, and he called me one night and he said, listen, I've been not drinking now for a couple of weeks. You know, things are becoming more and more clear to me, and I don't know how I did that to you. You're my little brother. I should be protecting you, and I expected you to show up for me and protect me. He got clean. It took him a while, but he finally got clean. For a few years, he's been clean. And we have a better relationship now than we ever did. You know, he's doing so much good for himself. He finally got his license. He finally got a good job. All those things because he quit. But the way I think about it is he can never... I was hurting him by enabling him. I thought I was doing him a favor. I wasn't. And sometimes we have to do the hard thing is let them go. You know, I'd never let him truly go completely, but I wasn't going to be there to show up for him when he hit rock bottom. And when he realized he hit rock bottom, and I was the last person, like, you know, my parents, my sisters, they all had enough of it. But when I finally gave up, coming to his rescue, that's when he had to rescue himself. And I always felt bad, like I wish I could have done it earlier. I thought I was doing him a favor. And sometimes we love somebody so much that we don't want to see them get hurt, or we don't want to see them fail. But sometimes they have to fail. They have to learn that lesson from failure. I got a little off track, but you know, like I said, at the time I thought I was doing the right thing. But then I realized that I wasn't helping, I was hurting. And no matter how much I seen the potential in him, no matter how much I looked up to him growing up, no matter how much I wanted good things to happen for him, they weren't until he wanted them. I can want for him all I want. And I feel like a lot of people out there can understand and relate to that. But like I said, sometimes we got to learn to walk on our own 2 feet. When you love someone too, like I said, when you love someone, it's hard. It's hard as shit to watch them fail. But if you don't let them fail, they're not going to learn the lessons. And like, you learn more from a failure than you do a win. But that's just my story. But like I said, he's doing good. Proud of him. You know, and I mean, sometimes, like I said, that's not a, you know, it's relevant in the fact that caring about someone sometimes too much can be a bad thing. You know, you got to let them learn to care for themselves. But be good. Take care. Stay safe. See you soon.